Mr. Rage! Please get out of my room.
No, I live here now, damn it!
You don't even pay rent!
So what?
Look, seriously, I've got bad back problems. I need my bed.
Oh, shut up! Your bed is better for me for my back!
Oh, come on, look, seriously, you will not like me if I get upset!
What? Why don't you just get angry?
Oh, who wants to get angry? That's a lot of effort. Come on, let me in!
No! Now go get me some damn toast, you fat ass!
That's it, I'm doing Hulk. Fine. The Hulk is directed by the brilliant mind behind Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ang Lee, and was a 2003 commercial success, grossing over $245 million worldwide. But it definitely got mixed reviews. Some people praising that the visual effects were superb, others slamming it for its lack of action. So let's sit back and take a look at The Hulk. So as the film starts off, I'm definitely having some fantastic nostalgia feelings. You know, these opening credits really bring me back to watching the Hulk TV show, and I'm loving it. You've got the tension, check. You've got the music, check. The bullshit science that nobody understands, double check. And now we're going to get pumped on with this film, and... or we get even more credits. Jesus Christ, these go on for ages. Like, literally ages, and oh. Okay, straight off the bat, I do not like the editing for this film. I'm all for trying something new, but this editing, it's like the film will just not sit still for like 2 seconds. It's like the Catwoman film. How those, like, the jump cuts at the end, cut, but this one's more slower, definitely. But the transitions between the shots and the scenes, it's sickening at times. I get motion sickness watching just this opening. I'm not a fan at all. So on to the main point of the film. We get Eric Bana playing Bruce Krenzler. Instantly, I'm now once again being drawn back to the Catwoman film, where they just made her Patience Phillips instead of Selena Kyle or someone we know. I'm thinking... really? Are they going down this route again? Or even worse, like the Hulk come first, didn't it? So Catwoman was just copying this film, and it's incredibly annoying for someone like me. But it does turn out that he was born Bruce Banner, but they changed his name to Krenzler for purposes in this film that we'll find out, because he's adopted child in this. Fine, but why go ahead and confuse your audience off the bat? That's something that annoys me. If you're going to make a superhero film, kind of stick to the origins and give us something that we're used to, but also entertain us at the same time.
As far as I'm concerned, security ought to be... Good morning, Dr. Krenzler. Security ought to be beefed up a lot more. In a place like this, you can't...
Oh look, Stan Lee's in this movie. So Bruce is joined by Betty Ross, played by Jennifer Connelly, and she actually received a nomination at the Saturn Awards for Best Actress. How? She is just so fucking boring and uninteresting and wooden. Just gives no emotion whatsoever. And she's meant to be the loving female lead / girlfriend kind of thing. I get none of that. I get none of that at all. If my girlfriend acted anything like that, I'd be fucking worried. Oh. Ah! Babe. 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 Babe.
Hmm?
What are we going to do about the guy living upstairs, the lunatic?
Hmm?
It just makes me so upset.
Hmm?
You're right. I should get angry about this. I should do something about it. So it turns out that Bruce has a stalker, Yeah, that just happened. I can't even begin to explain that, so I'm just going to move on. Yeah, and it also turns out that the Stalker is stealing Bruce's research on gamma radiation. But something goes terribly wrong during one of Bruce's experiments, and he's engulfed in a lethal dose of gamma radiation, turning him into an underrated actor. Where the fuck's the Hulk? So while Bruce is in the hospital, he is confronted by his stalker, and he reveals himself to be Bruce's biological father, David Banner. And as David leaves his son in the hospital, he warns him to mind his temper. Yes, I know, the line is meant to be for us, the audience, because we know what happens when he gets angry. I get that. But how the fuck does he know? How does David Banner know what happens when his son gets angry? I fucking hate lines like this, which are meant for us, the audience, but you sit there and wonder, how the fuck do you know? What secret being do you know? How do you understand this? These lines infuriate me beyond belief. And yeah, you may think this is actually quite funny, but I actually get really fucked off with these lines. I truly do. So a bit later on, under extreme stress, Bruce finally turns into the Hulk. And yeah, the transformation's actually pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed how he starts smashing things up and starts growing exponentially. It's a mixture of old school and newer editing, and I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, I like the way how he's in charge and no one can boss him around. Yeah, smash and crash. Yeah, let's give me an idea. I know what to do. Yes! Mr. Rage!
What?
I have toast.
Is it black?
It's kind of black. I really thought that would work. So the next time we see the Hulk is 13 minutes later, in which Betty's father, General Ross, played surprisingly by a coherent Sam Elliott. You know, I can actually understand 99% of his lines. It's incredible. So General Ross tries to have Bruce arrested, and typically he escapes as the Hulk. And he then meets up with a very uncaring Connolly, and they have a tender moment, apparently, where she, for the first time, sees a 9-foot raging green unstoppable monster, and she's like, "Oh, it's Bruce." Fuck off. Run and scream, bitch. And then, just to make the film even more confusing, Bruce's dad's evil dogs attack the Hulk. What? Dude! The fuck? I do not want to see the Hulk punch a dog in the face! Unless that dog is bigger than a fucking house. This is a beloved childhood memory. A fantastic cartoon and comic book, and ridiculously over-the-top television show. And he's punching a poodle in the face. The fuck? But Bruce is later then subdued and taken over to a military base where they plan to make more copies of him that they can control for an army. And typically he escapes again as the Hulk. Admittedly though, this bit here in the desert where he's beating up tanks and helicopters is pretty damn cool. You know, as far as this film's concerned, this is the scene of the film. Doesn't make up for the rest of it, but it's damn enjoyable. Oh yeah, and there's this other thing with Bruce's father. He's now done an experiment to himself, and that he can like meld into anything and attach himself to anything, kind of like a magnet chameleon. Like he puts his hand on a cabinet, he now can pick up the cabinet like it weighs nothing and then go bang and kill someone. And then he hands himself over to the government just so he can get closer to the Hulk. Which leads us into our conclusion of the film, Bruce and David are set for execution. Whoa. Bruce I can understand, he's an unstoppable rage monster, I get that. But David, nobody knows that he's different now, they just... What did he do? Okay, well it turns out he actually stabbed his wife to death and mutated his son. But still, execution without a trial? So then David turns into an energy cloud after biting an electric cable. You may feel I'm not giving you enough information about this character. I'm literally reporting what I saw. I have no fucking clue how he's managed to do this. He literally just appeared at this rundown scientific lab, injected himself and sprayed himself with gamma shit. He's now bitten an electric cable. He's now a massive cloud, and then he turns into a rock monster. Then he turns into a water nymph. I'm lost. This entire battle scene is lost on me, with him and the Hulk going backwards and forwards, not very interestingly either. A lot of these boss battles in the earlier stage of Marvel and DC movies were not great, were they? So, the aim of the game, for David even, is to absorb the Hulk's energy. Because apparently that's what he does. He absorbs the energy and then turns into it. But if you can turn yourself into an electrical storm or a rock monster or a water demon thing, why then do you need the strength of the Hulk? Do you store it all up, or do you change as it goes? None of it makes sense to me, alright? I'm trying, okay? I'm getting quite pissed off, I think is the term at the moment. So as David is trying to absorb the Hulk's energy, he realises it's too much, and he is defeated by a fucking missile. So the film ends with it being 1 year later, and Bruce is considered dead. But in actual fact, he's actually in the South American jungle protecting all the refugees and standing up to rebel militants. And that was the talk! I mean, Hulk! I've got to be honest, guys, I actually sat through this film twice for this review, and I got fed up both times. It's kind of a drag, this film. But as always, I'm going to do my 3 good and 3 bad for you, so here they are. My bad, starting with number 3. The lack of action. Now, it's a Hulk film. You're expecting carnage of some sort. You want to see him rip off the roof of a tank and then beat another tank up with it. And we got that. But we just didn't get enough of it. That's why it's only at number 3. It didn't annoy me the most, but it was irksome that there was only really... Okay, I'm not counting the dogfight. That was just wrong on every sense for me. I do not want to see a fucking bull terrier being thrown around like Loki. No, nobody wants to see this. I don't care if it's got a fucked up face from Blade 2. No, I do not want to see the Hulk punch a dog, unless it's fucking huge. So, you've got the scene in the desert and the final scene, really. They're the only 2 big Hulk moments we get in this film, and it's a 2 hour 15-minute runtime, including credits. I'd like at least another 2 big moments in there of the Hulk. Just saying. At number 2, Jennifer Connelly. Oh god, yes, we get it. She's a good-looking person. Granted. I'm not going to say anything less than that, she is. But she's so uninteresting, and she's clearly like... This is her face for the entire film. That's concern. That's love, apparently. Oh, it drives me mad. Did no one on set look at her and go, come on, Jen, come on. Pick up the game today. We know it's a bad film, but at least make it fun, alright? No. And the fact that she got a nomination, I know she didn't win it, but she got a nomination for the Saturn Awards. That ticks me off, that does. But the number one thing I just did not like about this movie was the slow pace and the terrible storyline. I've long said, pretty much since Avengers Assemble came out, that you can't have a standalone Hulk movie because there's nowhere for the character to go. It's pretty bog standard. He's normal, timid Bruce Banner. He gets pissed off, becomes the Hulk. It kind of writes itself, doesn't it? But because it's so predictable, 2-hour film alone just doesn't cut it for me. Whereas when he was part of an ensemble, when he was part of a team like the Avengers, fantastic. Just imagine for a moment, right? Iron Man 3, we all know how bad that film was. Iron Man 3, at the very end, when Tony Stark is surrounded by all of his suits that are going to kill him, and he just smiles. And the villain's like, "Why are you smiling, Tony Stark? You're dead, I'm going to get you." Nah, see, I've got a Hulk, and then Hulk just comes out of nowhere and smashes these suits. That instantly makes the film 10 times better, because the Hulk was smashing. Right? It would have been incredible. Yet, 2 hours of that doesn't cut it for me. So, that being said, I'm moving on to somehow 3 good things about this movie. Yep, there are 3 apparently. At number 3, Nick Nolte playing David Banner. Definitely, this is 100% fact. I've not actually proofread this, I'm just claiming it's fact, get over it. Nick Nolte realised halfway through he's in a bad movie, and then decided to take it up to 11. Every scene he is in, he just goes apeshit. Honestly, he just fucking goes for it. Bollocks to it, I'm earning this paycheck. That's what you do. If you're in a bad movie, you fucking own it. At number 2, Eric Bana. I love Eric Bana. I honestly think he's a very underrated actor. I loved him in Troy, I loved him in Star Trek, he's been in so many films, I just don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. And in this one, he does play a very good Bruce Banner. And the number one thing I loved about this film, every now and again, I got a bit nostalgic. I was transported back to when I was 5-6 years old, around my nan's house, watching the Lou Ferrigno Hulk TV show. And yeah, I loved it. Even back then I kind of knew it was bad, because it was very rare for me not to watch a cartoon back then. Like, if it weren't cartoon, I weren't listening. This is one of those rare shows that I could sit there and watch and enjoy, because it was just so out there, you know. It was quite clearly a guy just painted green, but I still enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it as a kid. If I watch it now, I'll probably detest it and make a video about it. But this film at times transported me back to a simpler time with my cup of hot chocolate and 3 bourbon biscuits. And I love those moments. With that being said, I need to be honest and say I'm going to give this film, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. It just wasn't good enough. There were certain moments that were okay, but it just wasn't good enough for me. But I'll tell you what this film has made me. It's made me angry. Oh, and he won't like me when I'm angry.
Where the fuck did he go? Hey honey, he's gone!
I'm leaving you.
Oh. Oh, okay.
To the large man. Maybe I should have learned your name. Maybe you should have learned mine. I've run away forever. Do not try and find me. I've left you a jar of hair and taken all your left shoes. Goodbye, Fivehead. Sincerely, Black Rage! P.S. I've pooped everywhere.
Well, that's the end of season 3. Join me next time for season 4. Kind of a weird end to the season, really, but take care now, guys.